Генеральный секретарь НАТО Jens Stoltenberg.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg admitted that Russia's war against Ukraine has accelerated the reform of the alliance, updated defense capabilities, and generally influenced the members of the alliance as a reason for more decisive action in Europe.
We have increased the readiness of our forces. We have deployed combat-ready troops to the east of the alliance for the first time in our history. And European allies and Canada have spent an additional $350 billion extra on defense. When President Putin launched his full-fledged invasion of Ukraine in 2022, we were therefore ready. Within hours, we activated all our defense plans. We put 40,000 troops under NATO command, backed by significant air and maritime power. And we strengthened our forward defenses from the Baltic to the Black Sea.
Jens Stoltenberg.
It was no accident that Jens Stoltenberg talked about NATO's eastern flank. The other day, a Russian Su-35 aircraft intercepted a Tupolet L-410 aircraft belonging to the Polish Border Service, which was carrying out a scheduled patrol mission over the Frontex sub-Aegis over the Black Sea in international airspace, in cooperation with the Romanian services. The incident led to a big scandal and a lot of turbulence on the Polish border plane. The crew of the Polish border guards, consisting of 5 people, temporarily lost control of the aircraft, which began to lose altitude. NATO combat aircraft were ready to intervene in the incident. In this regard, Russian ambassador Sergei Andreev was summoned to the Polish Foreign Ministry. We strongly condemn the provocative and aggressive behavior of the Russian side, which is a serious international incident. Łukasz Jasyna, Polish analyst on Twitter.
В итоге поляки вручили российскому дипломату.
As a result, the Poles handed the Russian diplomat a note of protest. There is concern about Russia's aggressive behavior in East Asia as well. Japan is in talks to open a NATO liaison office, the first of its kind in Asia. This was stated by Japanese Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi in an interview with CNN. We are already conducting negotiations, but no details have been agreed yet. The reason we are discussing this is that the world has become more unstable since Russia's aggression in Ukraine. What is happening in Eastern Europe is not limited to Eastern Europe, and it directly affects the situation here, in the Pacific. That is why cooperation between us in East Asia and NATO is becoming more and more important. Yoshimasa Hayashi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan.
Открытие офиса связи НАТО в Японии.
The opening of a NATO liaison office in Japan would be a significant step for the Western alliance amid deepening geopolitical rifts and is likely to draw criticism from the Chinese government, previously warned against such a move. And while in Brussels, the defense ministers of 31 countries discussed the contours of the future security system, fierce battles continue in Bakhmut. And this was the reason why Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Valery Zaluzhny, did not appear in Brussels, even online.
I received a letter yesterday from the Ukrainian Chot, our friend General Valery Zaluzhny, that even his participation via BICES VTC was impossible due to the complex operational situation defending against the Russian aggression. Our best wishes are with the Ukrainian defenders. We look forward to hearing from the Ukrainian military representative to NATO, Major General Serhiy Salkutsan, what his latest appreciation is of the situation on the ground and how Ukraine continues fighting for what is rightfully theirs.
Зато впервые.
But for the first time, the Minister of Defense of Finland is present at a meeting of the military committee as a full-fledged member, on which special emphasis was placed by the chairman of the committee.
Finland's membership is not complete without Sweden. We are all eagerly looking forward to giving General Mikael Biden the same warm welcome. And Mikael, long engagements make happy marriages.
О более серьезных вещах.
Jens Stoltenberg spoke about more serious sins than marriage and engagement. He announced the need to create a new security system on the planet and described the priorities for the alliance like this.
As we prepare for a more dangerous future, we must redouble our efforts to keep our 1 billion citizens safe and to uphold the rules-based international order. High-intensity warfare is back in Europe. Global competition is rising. Authoritarian regimes are challenging our values, interests and security. And other threats are also multiplying.
Важная дискуссия на встрече членов.
An important discussion at the meeting of committee members is the synchronization of political and diplomatic efforts with military actions. It is hard to imagine when a full-scale war is going on in Europe, but the defense ministers still tried to find such solutions.
At this headquarters, on a daily basis, the political and military level find consensus on how to best keep 1 billion people safe. Together, we make sure that political will is matched with military capabilities. The role of this committee is crucial. Our unfettered advice to NATO's political level helps ensure that what is politically desirable is indeed militarily feasible.
Но несмотря на такие громкие призывы,
But despite such loud calls from Brussels, information leaked out of Washington that allegedly the administration of US President Joe Biden does not plan to follow the example of Great Britain. We are talking about providing Kyiv with long-range missiles.
London is set to send missiles with a range of 300 kilometers or nearly 200 miles. That's the same range as the Army tactical missile system known as ATACMS that Washington has refused to transfer to Kyiv. But the possibility of British missiles heading to Ukraine has President Joe Biden's team breathing in a quiet sigh of relief. According to multiple US officials who spoke to NATSEC Daily, they hope it will silence critics who want the US to send ATACMS since Ukraine may soon get the long-range capability from London. From an article in the Political newspaper on May 10, 2023.
как всегда, более прогрессивные.
As always, the more progressive and active closest neighbors of Ukraine, they see with their own eyes almost daily what the aggressor country is capable of, and they themselves sound the alarm. It is time to defend Europe and the European model of democracy, and for this you need fighters. The F-16 was designed to defend freedom. It is time to let it do what it does best. F-16 for Ukraine. Gabrielius Landsbergis, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Lithuania, on Twitter.
Украина уже давно.
Ukraine has long shown success on the battlefield, and there are many examples of this. One of the last, the US Department of Defense has confirmed that the Ukrainians shot down a Russian hypersonic Kinzhal missile. The Ukrainian military did this with the help of the American Patriot air defense system. In August 2022, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu argued that the dagger cannot be detected or intercepted. Another example of the valor of the Ukrainian military. On Wednesday, they inflicted serious damage on the 72nd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade of Russia near Bakhmut. And for many days, they have been defending Donbass from Russian occupation. You can still list the victories of the Ukrainian army. NATO is well aware of this too. From Brussels, Oleksii Matsuka, Ruslan Kuzyugov, especially for UATV News.